Welcome to the second of our daily videos, God's Strength for Anxious Times, looking at the ancient wisdom of the 23rd Psalm and seeing what it has to say to us today. The 23rd Psalm starts with these words: "The Lord is my shepherd." Very familiar words, but actually really quite revolutionary words, because within these words is an acknowledgement of my need, of your need, that bursts our illusion of self-control. The psychologists tell us that of all the different types of fear, that the thing that people often find most difficult to cope with is uncertainty. And if there's one thing that marks the times in which we're living right now, it's uncertainty. And there's a lot that in the middle of this pandemic and the lockdown that's following from it, there's a lot that is changing day by day, and so much of our daily lives have been disrupted and changed, and flowing from that is a lot of uncertainty. And so we feel out of control. God's word tells us, though, that actually our feelings of self-control are so often nothing more than an illusion. There's so much in daily life that we cannot control. We can't control illness. We can't control when serious difficulties will suddenly affect our lives or the lives of people we love. We can't always control whether we're going to be made redundant or find ourselves in financial difficulties. Even the flu, which comes around every year and kills people every year, we can't control. But we kind of get used to these things, don't we? And so we can kind of filter them out into the background. And then when the coronavirus comes along with all of the rapid change that comes in response to it, we find that we can't filter that out. And so we have that sense of uncertainty and that loss of control. And the 23rd Psalm speaks right into that situation with these words: "The Lord is my shepherd." There's an invitation within that to not be my own shepherd, to relinquish my illusion of self-control, to lay aside my drive towards self-preservation, to lay aside the pride that says I can do everything myself and I don't need any help, and instead to place our trust in God, who wants to lead us, who says, "Let me be your shepherd. Let me lead you through this day and each day of your life. You may not have control, but know that I do, and know that I am with you through every circumstance of life." I read a post on Facebook recently. This was a woman who was writing from Wuhan in China, 7 weeks into lockdown. And she wrote this: "As we watch the rest of the world begin their time inside, here are some of my reflections over the last 7 weeks. She says, "Accept that you have no control over the situation. Let go of any thoughts of trying to plan too much for the next month or two. Things change so fast. Don't be angry or annoyed at the system. Anxiety goes down and you make the best of the situation, whatever that might be for you. Accept that this is what it is and things will get easier." And she goes on to say, "Try not to listen to or read or watch too much media. It will drive you crazy. There is such a thing as too much. Good wisdom there. And she finishes by saying, to those just beginning this journey, you will get through it. Listen to what you're told, follow the rules, and look out for each other. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Let's take a moment to pray. And as we pray, can I invite you just to take a moment to be still before God? Maybe take a deep breath and become aware of his presence. And then in the presence of God, acknowledge the things that make you feel anxious. Acknowledge the things over which you don't feel you have control. Then place your concerns in Jesus' hands. Place your life again in Jesus' hands. And hear his words. I am the good shepherd, and I lay down my life for the sheep. So thank you, our loving Lord, that you are the good shepherd. Give us grace to let go of our desire to control all the things that we were never meant to control. Give us the humility to place our lives in your hands. Give us faith to trust you with our lives and with the lives of those we love. And we thank you because the Lord is my shepherd. Amen.